and you're starting to feel like you're drowning in admin work, you're missing appointments, and you're chasing down payments, and it feels like you're working in your business and not working on your business, this video is going to change everything for you. I'm about to show you the 5 exact systems successful practice owners use to scale their business, and it reduces their workload by up to 70% while actually being able to enjoy running a business. And the best part, you can implement this starting today, and you don't even need to be tech savvy. So grab your coffee, get your notepad, and let's get into this. Now, these 5 game-changing systems are what I use to take our practice from the 5K a month to over 100K a month. And what I learned about working with other practices and with our practice, the difference between the practices that struggle to grow and those that scale effortlessly isn't talent, it isn't location, it isn't even marketing. It's systems. And in my own practice, we use Simple Practice for all 5 of these. And I'm going to show you exactly what we've set up and how to run the practice effectively. Now, this practice and practices that implement these 5 game-changing systems will be able to reclaim up to 8 hours, at least 8 hours minimum per week, that therapists can typically use towards that admin task, reduce that workload and nearly by 50%. And that way you can handle significantly more clients without reaching burnout, which will allow you to last. And the goal here is longevity. We're going for marathons, not sprints. So let's break this down, each system, starting with the one that will save you the most time immediately. All right, so I had to adjust that head size because it was a little too small. Number 1 system, an automated scheduling system. If you're still playing phone tag with your clients to book sessions, you're probably bleeding a lot of time and money. More importantly, your time. It is valuable. Let me paint a picture for you and what this looks like without the system. It's 6 p.m., you're finally done with your last client, and you have 47 missed calls. You spend the next hour calling people back and playing scheduling Tetris, only to have 3 people cancel tomorrow morning. Sound familiar? Well, here's the solution. An automated scheduling system, right? It does 3 critical things. First, it gives you your client 24/7 access to book appointments. So there's no more phone tag, there's no more I'll call you back, and they can book when it's convenient for them. So we actually use Simple Practice for this, and this is just how it looks. It's as simple as the title describes it. Second best thing Simple Practice does is that it sends automated reminders. This alone reduces your no-show rate by at least 50%. That's data from the Mayo Clinic. And the system actually sends email reminders 24 hours prior to and text reminders the day of. Even sends a follow-up message. It's like 3 touch points off of 1 action. Third, it can handle cancellations and rescheduling automatically. Clients can cancel with proper notice, and the system will immediately open slots up for someone else. Or it will send out an immediate cancellation notification to them if you cancel yourself. Now, in our practice, we use Simple Practice, but there's 2 ways you can use this. One is you can set up online bookings. So you set up allotted time slots, and with the time slots, they're going to choose from what you offer to them. Or you can have, if you have a scheduler in place, the scheduler can manage that side of house for you, and it still does the reminders automatically, and it also does the cancellation notifications and things like that. Look at this, and I just show you screenshots. Look at this in action. So this is the calendar view on Simple Practice. It is as easy as when I add in and create a new client, enter in all the important details and information here that I need. After I add in the contact information, reminders and notifications right there. That's simple. And all you do is click here to switch them on. Here, let me put in fake info here so I can show you. Boom, boom, boom. So upcoming appointments. Sent 24 hours before appointment start time by text, and then 2 days before that, you get an email reminder of your appointment. Wow. And complete documents, same thing. 24 hours before the start time, 48 hours before your next appointment. They're going to send those document reminders. Cancellations. As soon as it's canceled by you, it's going to send that message, and you can edit what you want to say specifically. It'll do a text and an email and a link for them to reschedule. This really is such a useful tool, and you're probably already seeing how fast and how much time you can save. If you think that's simple, wait till you see this next one. All right, system number 2 is the electronic health record system, and it's your EHR system, right? If you're still using paper files and scattered digital documents, you're probably creating a big bottleneck that's going to prevent you from scaling. And I'm speaking from experience. Let me tell you what happens when you don't have the proper EHR system. So you spend about 10 minutes before each session just looking and hunting files, and you can't even quickly reference your previous sessions because you're constantly worried about, HIPAA compliance, and you're just not organized. Then you can just forget about adding on to your team because other therapists are going to be just as confused and frustrated because you don't have the right tools to help them become successful and best serve the clients that you have. So they'll never be able to find anything. Now, we went through this, and the big filing cabinet where you scan through stuff and you have that big binder maybe that you're going through documents. It's just so much harder. Well, in our practice, we use Simple Practice, that same EHR tool that we use for scheduling. And here's why it's so effective. So everything is simply just in one place. It takes care of your therapy documentation. So you have every client note, treatment plan, insurance information, session history. It's all searchable and secure. Now, when I sit down or when our therapists sit down with clients, they can instantly see the complete history without digging through a bunch of files. It's all in one place. It's easy to navigate, easy for them to see, and it's HIPAA compliant. So that's all built in. Some practice handles the encryption, all of that audit trails that are needed, and we passed a lot of audits. And thanks to Simple Practice, the hunt didn't take nearly as long as it could have because it was all in there, dated. Note corrections because maybe got kicked back on insurance, dated, even dates why you made the correction and went back. It's so seamless and it's nice to have. So we don't even worry about violations that could cost thousands of dollars and destroy reputation. It's here, it keeps it safe. And the best part, and why I only recommend Simple Practice, one, it's all we use. Two, everything integrates seamlessly. So our Google Calendar and our scheduling system, our billing system, client portals, clients being able to book their appointments, having their own profile for the caregivers when you're working with minors, sending out email notifications and reports, all simple. Your diagnosis and treatment plans can go in here. And my favorite part is being able to track progress, which we are in the process of implementing because they just added this in there. I believe you provide better services when you can track the progress and make adjustments to fit the client's needs, right? So they're not creating dependence on you. A quick view of what a client's profile looks like when you pull it up. So I use my Excel for example. Once you come in here, you can see the most recent notes, organize it. It'll say diagnosis and treatment plans. It'll have your progress notes, any appointments you have coming up with the notes pertaining to each appointment. Game changer, by the way. Everything just aligns. There's less you can do. You can handle your billing and everything from here. So this EHR system can do so much, and you don't have to pay for 3 to 5 different systems and tools when one of them does majority of it. So also, this next one, you're not going to believe what it tracks, especially for those who don't like numbers and they give you a headache, even though you still want to understand and look at them. You're going to love this next game-changing system then. Watch this. All right, system number 3 is going to be our billing and payment automation system. So this is where most private practices lose thousands of dollars every year without even realizing it. And that is us. We were losing tens of thousands, probably over 6 figures from this crucial mistake. So I'm showing you so you don't have to make it. Now, if you're manually creating invoices and chasing down payments, dealing with insurance claims by hand, you're not just wasting time. You are leaving money on the table. Now, here's what broken billing looks like. You finish a great session and you have a great session with a client, and then you're spending 20 minutes creating the invoice, sending it out manually, following up, and 2 weeks later, they still haven't paid. And if you have more clients, it piles up. It's like sweeping crumbs under the rug. And if you then realizing you made an error in the insurance claim and delays payment by another month. And it's just delays on top of delays on top of delays. Now, with the proper billing system, you can automate this entire process. And another point is, one of these systems in place because one, you're not a biller. So you want to make sure you're able to work on the business but it's nice to be able to understand and have a good visual of the data and where you're at. So some practice in their client profile, it'll show up like this, and it's just a tab that you click on to click onto their billing. On the right side, it'll show what they currently have underneath as far as the amount that hasn't been paid, unpaid claims, and you can add a payment in there for them. Also, within their client profile, they can just go in there, make the payments. Hands off. You ain't got to ring it. They can take care of it. And then the proper billing system is going to automate majority of these tasks for you besides the oversight. So first, it's going to handle the insurance claims automatically. The system will submit the claims electronically, track their status, and alert you of any issues. It keeps you spend about 20 minutes creating invoices, sending them manually. You have to follow up in 2 weeks later when they still haven't even paid you, and you realize that you also made an error on the insurance claim, so then that payment's going to get delayed by another month, and it's just adding up and adding up bottlenecks, a bunch of bottlenecks, and you're like sweeping these crumbs under the rug until you pull it up and you realize the big pile of mess that's underneath there. Now, with the proper billing system, this is going to automate that entire process for you, so you don't have to deal with that. Now, the first one it handles is the insurance claims. You're going to have to do some oversight of it still, but it's way better than you doing all the things I just mentioned earlier. This is just a screenshot of what we were able to do currently in the last couple of days. So this shows you what's in progress, what's being handled, managed, and what's been paid out. And it's extremely easy just to quickly log in, see where you're at, and do some check-ins if I need to with the rest of the team. It keeps you at the CEO level and no longer just worker in your business, right? That's how you can separate the two. Now you can make the important calls and adjustments and think through the things that you need to. Secondly, it's going to manage the client payments very seamlessly. I showed you the profile before. They can come in here, add in the payments, and they can just pay online and set up the automatic payments if need be. And they can receive any automated reminders for any outstanding balances. The third thing is going to actually provide you with financial reports. There's a section in here in SimPractice that's going to show you. You can click reports and you can filter by insurances. You can filter by providers within your practice, when you're doing KPIs, and you can just filter by your clients as well. Seamless, and you can see exactly where your money is coming from and where services are most profitable. You can identify cash flow patterns that you're having and really make leaps and bounds within your business when it comes to making adjustments. Here's an even more critical stat. Therapists lose 8+ hours a week in admin tasks and 18% of revenue to billing inefficiencies. 18% is a lot. I know a lot who did more. We were at one point where we were losing more than 18% just off of those little things. And these systems do help you to reclaim that time back and money. We're able to focus on the more serious things and get those solved a lot sooner. You can put out fires way sooner. The practice that gets this right will see at least 30 to 40% improvement in their collection rates. That's a lot. That does a lot for you, especially over time. It compounds. And you can reduce billing-related admin time by 80%. And here is a bonus tip. Set up the automated payment plan for clients. This is going to improve your cash flow predictability and reduce the awkwardness of payment conversations and sessions. You don't want to be so nice to where now they have a balance of $700, $1,000, and you're like, hey, I can't continue to work with you until you pay this. Well, now they're in a predicament because one, they really need the help, and two, they can't pay you when they should have paid earlier. It's just an awkward place you don't want to be in. You don't want to create those issues or continue to deal with them if it's happened to you already. All right, now let's get into this next one. It's going to be the communication system, right? Your client communication system specifically. With this automation, this is what really separates practices that survive and practices that thrive. There's a complete difference on how you're going to operate, right? If you're always having to operate out of need, it's going to come off that way. And, it's going to come off your breath when speaking to clients or speaking to leads, right? You want to come from a place of purpose. You want to be able to always operate in purpose consistently. And this helps with that a lot. Most private practices are terrible when it comes to staying in touch with clients in between sessions. And the worst is having to always find new ones. They rely on word of mouth, and that's hope marketing at best. All right, now here's what the proper communication system can actually do for you. First, you want to maintain a secure professional communication, with current clients through their own portal. Clients can send you a secure message, they can make appointments, send requests, and access their documents as well. And this reduces phone calls during business hours and keeping everything documented and HIPAA compliant. Instead of them calling in asking for documents to be sent over, they have complete access to it if they want to. They can log into the portal, download what they need, take to another doctor's office, and so on. Now, SimplePractice makes this easy. So this is a screenshot of what it looks like. You can compose an email, you can select documents you want to send over to them, and so on. And this is what the chat actually looks like in the secure area. The second sleeper thing that it does is it actually can nurture the clients that you already have. So you don't need a whole email funnel and newsletter, right? There's features within there when someone inquires about your services, or to send out a general alert, maybe about the holidays or the breaks that you're taking up, or to say Merry Christmas. You can send out a message to all of your clients that you're working with or within your practice. That's another service you don't even have to pay for. It all comes in SimplePractice. And then if you wanted to, you can systematically review the referrals and reach out to clients too that come your way. Now, we use another tool to actually collect these that we built out. It just works best for our operations and size that I built out for our team, and I help our clients build out as well. But if you just need to start somewhere, this is a good place to start. And there's an advanced strategy you can use to where you can use the system to provide ongoing value in SimplePractice. So any wellness reminders, do your brief check-ins and stay connected, and making sure that you have consistent appointments lined up with your client. That way they're getting the growth that they need, and it's not anything inconsistent, and they're actually making progress with you in your business. Practices with strong communication systems, they're going to see a significantly higher client retention and substantially way more referrals than those that don't stay in touch at all. And it's just a fact. It's one of those snowballing effects that builds up over time. And it makes it effortless when you use SimplePractice, and you can maintain those relationships. Now, system number 5 is my absolute favorite one that I think makes a big difference in a practice that is struggling and thriving. Now, the client onboarding system. This is your chance to make a powerful first and lasting impression while saving hours on your admin work. Now, with this, most practices, they handle new clients like this. They email out a bunch of PDFs, hope the client prints them out, fills them out by hand, brings them to their session. They spend the first 20 minutes of that expensive session time entering data into the system. And this approach is frustrating for clients and also inefficient for you. They want to be able to get going, get started, and do the work, and just feel better and receive the great services you provide. Now, with this, when you go into SimplePractice and you build out a profile for your client, and they're getting ready to start and do their initial intake with you, as easily adding in their email as shown before. You're going to click Share with Client, and you're going to select all the documents that you need to send to them. There's some set ones that you use that you're going to need, and you can create your own templates. That way you create it one time, and it's going to be always there. Your scheduler can send it out. Anyone on your team, your clinicians on your team, or your group practice can also use this. It makes it extremely easy for them. Our clients actually receive a secure link that they can complete all their intake forms online just before their initial session. And these forms are customized to how we need in our practice, and you can do the same for yours. I help our clients do this and get those templates for them. That way they can skip that step and get started sooner as well. But when someone books their first appointment, we'll automatically get these sent out to them. I also use that tool I mentioned earlier to help with this. And this is so we can have a single automation from going to assigning a client and notifying the team. Instead of it being 5 steps, 1 step takes care of all of it. I love it. Let me explain. So you have a team of therapists, you have referrals coming in. 1, you're checking the emails, checking the referrals. 2, now you have to call them and make sure they're still wanting services and get them scheduled in. So they confirm, they get scheduled in. Now you have to build out their profile. You're building out their profile in SimplePractice, and then Once you build that out, now you have to notify the assigned clinician. So now you're notifying the assigned clinician. Now you have to draft an email or a Google chat as we use. And it's just automatically a bunch of steps right there. Well, in the tool that we use, we have it set up to where we talk to them on the phone, they're assigned. I choose who is assigned to. We move it over, and automation will run to where it sends a notification out to them. It sends the documents over to the team, and they're able to reach out to their clients to schedule that initial session and do a touch base with them. It's extremely smooth. Forms, they get our office policies, and they know what to expect, right? It's very easy for them to get started. And the best part, when clients complete their intake forms, it automatically gonna send them a welcome email, and it's gonna keep it within their profile. It's all there. And I had built out for our practice and our clients as well. So there's our new referral section. There's a contacted section, contacted to intake scheduled to intake completed to assigned, and then there's the lost area. Now, it's as easy as clicking on these boxes and dragging them over. Once they're assigned, it runs the automation. It's going to notify them, get everything set and scheduled to go. Just since implementing the system, our first sessions are more productive, as well as our team. Our clients are arriving better prepared, and we've eliminated almost a bunch of the middle work of admin tasks that have to take place. So now it's all simple. It is more precise, and we're able to get more done. Now, that's just something we use for ourselves and the clients that I work with. But if you can't even get to that point, you can just really use simple practice. And that's the amazing thing about it. It's integrated for a lot of those things that you need to be successful and to thrive. And you're not trying to connect different tools that don't talk to each other. And you're paying for 5 different subscriptions. Once you have everything set up, you can use just that one platform. Let me leave you with this. Every successful private practice runs on systems, not just talent. The practitioners who scale their practices reduce their stress, actually enjoy the work that they do, and the ones who invest the time into building the foundational systems are the ones that make it extremely far and thrive. These 5, your billing automation, your streamlined onboarding and client communication, are going to be your roadmap to a practice that serves more people while also giving you the freedom that you deserve. Start with the scheduling this week. Pick one of the tools I mentioned or find one that works best for you. Set aside 2 hours, get it figured out, and watch how much time it's going to save you. It's all about not just taking in this YouTube video, but actually executing and putting it into play in the practice, right? Now, please do not just consume this video. Go out and apply what you learned, figure out what works best for you, and save the time that you deserve. You are great at what you do. You have clients that need you, and you can have that successful, thriving practice. It's all within your control. Let's go out here and get it. If this helped you and you think this can help someone else, please make sure you share it. Let's go ahead and build a practice that works for you, not against you. I'll see you in the next one.